Aaron Vale ran through the crowded market, his boots clanging on the metal walkways. Smoke and noise filled the air. Merchants shouted over one another, selling strange fruits, glowing crystals and tools that hummed with power. Robots rolled between stalls, scanning the crowd. Alien soldiers marched past, their armor shining in the neon lights. Aaron did not care about the chaos. His eyes were fixed on something small and weak lying on the ground. It was a dragon hatchling. Its tiny body shook, scales dull and cracked, wings folded awkwardly against its back. The little dragon tried to open its eyes but failed. Around it no one paid attention. Merchants kicked it aside to reach their stalls. Soldiers ignored it. Some aliens laughed at it. But Aaron's heart tightened. He could not leave it there. He crouched beside the hatchling. Its tiny chest rose and fell with shallow, uneven breaths. "Hey, it's okay," Aaron whispered. He wrapped his hands around the little creature, careful not to hurt it. The hatchling let out a small, weak whine. Its tail twitched, brushing against his arm. "Get away, human," a burly alien shouted, swinging a heavy arm. "That thing is worthless. Leave it." Aaron shook his head. "I can't. It needs help." The alien snorted and pushed past him. Other bystanders ignored him. They were used to humans and dragons being weak, small, and easily forgotten. But Aaron did not think like them. To him, life mattered even if it was small, even if it was weak. He stood, holding the hatchling close. It tried to curl against him, but its tiny claws scratched his shirt. Aaron winced but did not loosen his grip. Around him, the market grew louder. A metal cart rolled out of control, nearly hitting a group of traders. Aaron dodged and adjusted his hold on the hatchling. He did not notice the shadow moving behind him. A massive, elegant dragon stepped between the stalls, her scales shimmering like liquid silver. She was enormous, her wings folded like a cathedral roof around her body. Her eyes were golden and deep, filled with intelligence and power. She moved slowly, watching Aaron closely. The dragon queen Leora had come for her child, but she did not strike. Instead, she walked silently, hidden in the crowd. Aaron ducked under a low sign, careful not to bump the hatchling's head. The little dragon let out a faint squeak. He pressed his face close to it. "Shoo, don't worry. I'll take care of you." Some merchants stared at him. "That human is crazy," one hissed. Aaron ignored them. He knew the hatchling could not survive alone. It needed warmth, food, and care. And he would give it all. He moved through narrow alleys, past stalls with strange fruits that glowed faintly, and machines that hissed steam. Every step was careful. He kept the hatchling close, rocking it slightly to soothe it. Its breathing was shallow, almost fading. Aaron's stomach twisted in worry. He spotted an abandoned building ahead. The door was cracked, dust on the floor, but inside was quiet. He ducked in and set the hatchling gently on a pile of soft cloth he found. The little dragon's wings twitched. Its tiny tongue flicked out, tasting the air. Aaron knelt beside it. "I've got you," he said softly. He looked at the hatchling's face, small and delicate, with tiny scales like glass. "I promise I won't let anything happen to you." Aaron did not notice Leora approach closer. Her massive form moved between crates and broken carts. Her golden eyes studied him. She could sense everything, his thoughts, his heartbeat, his care for the hatchling. Humans were weak in body, she knew, but there was something strange in this one. Something powerful in his choices. He risked himself for another creature, not for reward, not for fear, not for glory, just because it was right. The hatchling struggled to move. Aaron reached out, gently touching its wings. They were fragile, almost paper-thin. He noticed cracks in the scales and tiny scratches. He frowned. "You've been hurt badly?" He searched his pockets and found a small vial of water. He held it to the hatchling's lips. It licked weakly, drinking slowly. Its eyes blinked once, then closed. Aaron felt a spark of relief. It was alive, at least for now. But he knew it needed more than water. Warmth, food, medicine, and a safe place. Suddenly the building shook. Aaron looked up. Outside, the market erupted. Robots clashed with soldiers. Traders ran, shouting orders. A metal cart smashed through a stall, scattering goods everywhere. The noise made the hatchling flinch. Aaron covered it with his jacket, holding it against his chest. From the doorway he saw movement. Shadows shifted. He froze, fear rising. Then he saw her, the Dragon Queen, Leora. She was enormous, more massive than he had imagined. Her scales shimmered even in the dim light. Her wings twitched. Her eyes studied him, sharp and golden, as if reading his soul. Aaron swallowed hard. He had never seen a dragon like this. His mind raced. Was she angry? Was he in danger? Leora stepped closer, slowly. She did not attack. Her presence filled the room, powerful and commanding. But there was no hate in her eyes. Only observation. She moved gracefully, circling them, watching how he held her hatchling. Aaron's voice shook. I'm just trying to help. Leora tilted her head. She seemed to consider his words. Then, almost imperceptibly, she lowered her massive head, bringing her golden eyes to the level of the hatchling. The hatchling's tiny eyes opened, blinking at its mother. There was a soft, almost musical sound from the Dragon Queen, a sound Aaron could not understand. It was not a roar. It was not a threat. It was acknowledgement. Aaron looked up at her, still holding the small dragon. I don't know if I can help it, he admitted. But I can try. I will try. Leora watched him for a long moment. Then, slowly, she turned and left the building. Her massive wings folded around her body as she disappeared into the streets outside. Aaron did not understand why she had left, but he felt a strange sense of relief. He looked down at the hatchling. Its breathing had steadied slightly. It raised its head, weakly licking his hand. Aaron smiled, feeling a small warmth in his chest. He had no idea that the Dragon Queen had watched him the entire time, judging him, learning from him. He had no idea that the choices he made today would change everything, how dragons saw humans and how the galaxy might see them too. For now, all that mattered was that the hatchling was alive. And Aaron Vale was determined to keep it that way, no matter what dangers lay ahead. Aaron sat beside the hatchling, feeling its small body tremble against his chest. He could hear its weak heartbeat, faster than it should be, and he realized it was still very sick. The market noise had faded, but the city outside hummed with life. Hovercars whizzed through narrow streets, and distant alarms rang from security drones patrolling the area. Aaron knew he could not stay here for long. He needed a safer place, somewhere the hatchling could recover. He gently lifted the small dragon, wrapping it in his jacket to keep it warm. Its tiny wings fluttered weakly. Don't worry, he whispered. We'll find somewhere safe. I won't let anything happen to you. Outside, unseen by him, Leora moved silently through the streets. Her massive form was hidden from human eyes. The people around her only saw shadows and flickers of light, nothing solid. She followed Aaron closely, observing every choice he made, every step he took. She noticed how carefully he carried the hatchling, how he avoided bumps and obstacles, how he adjusted his grip when the little dragon struggled. Most humans, she thought, would have panicked or abandoned the creature. But not Aaron. There was something different in him, something rare. Even in a galaxy filled with warriors, traitors, and thieves, his bravery was not loud or proud. It was quiet, steady, and unselfish. That made him dangerous in a way she did not fully understand yet. Aaron moved through narrow alleys, avoiding the main streets where soldiers and security bots patrolled. He peeked around corners, checking for danger. The hatchling whimpered softly and he stopped to adjust it, pressing his hand to its head. Its eyes flickered open briefly, then closed again. Aaron frowned. Its breathing was improving but very slowly. I need to find some supplies, he muttered. Something to keep you warm, maybe food, maybe medicine. He remembered a small repair shop nearby where he often scavenged old parts. Perhaps he could find heating devices or containers to make a temporary nest. As he moved, a falling crate tipped by a careless merchant nearly smashed into him. Aaron jumped back, clutching the hatchling tighter. It squeaked in fear, curling against him. He hissed in frustration. Careful, he said. I can't have you hurt again. Leora watched it all. She did not intervene, but her presence made Aaron's movements smoother, almost as if the city itself shifted to protect him. She tested him silently, making small obstacles appear, loose crates, swinging signs, even a sudden gang of aggressive aliens. Aaron navigated them all without dropping the hatchling. He dodged, ducked, and adapted, showing cleverness and courage she had rarely seen in a human. Finally he reached the repair shop. It was dusty and small but full of tools, metal scraps, and old machinery. He set the hatchling down on a pile of cloth he found. Its tiny body curled up immediately, exhausted. Aaron began searching the shop for anything useful. He found a small lamp that gave off warmth, some soft rags, and a tiny container of purified water. He carefully fed the water to the hatchling, watching it lap at the liquid. There, he said. That's better. He adjusted the rags around it, trying to make a small nest. He sighed, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. I don't know if I can do this, little one, but I'll try. Outside the shop, Leora rested in the shadows. Her golden eyes reflected the light from the small lamp inside. She could sense every heartbeat, every breath, every thought of the human caring for her child. She had waited for many things in her long life: loyalty, strength, courage, but never like this. This human had none of the size or power of a warrior, yet he carried the weight of a dragon hatchling as if it were nothing. Hours passed. Aaron slept in short bursts beside the hatchling, his arms still around it, ready to wake at the slightest movement. He did not hear the faint rumble of wings outside or the soft, patient steps of the dragon queen watching him. When he awoke, the hatchling had stirred. Its tiny claws flexed and it made a soft, weak sound. Aaron's heart lifted. "You're stronger than I thought," he whispered. "Keep going. You can do this." A sudden noise outside startled him. A group of alien scavengers entered the alley, carrying weapons and looking for trouble. Aaron froze. The hatchling whined softly. He knew he had no chance if they attacked him. But something inside him refused to let fear take over. He picked up a metal rod from the shop, holding it like a shield. The scavengers approached, sneering. "What's this? A human protecting some weak creature? Pathetic." Aaron stood tall. "It's not weak," he said quietly but firmly. "And I won't let you harm it." The aliens laughed and advanced. Then a shadow passed over them. Leora stepped out of the darkness, her enormous wings unfurling. The scavengers froze, staring up at her massive form. Her golden eyes blazed, and her roar shook the alley, sending vibrations through the walls. Aaron barely had time to blink. The hatchling squirmed against him, sensing its mother nearby. Leora did not attack him or the hatchling. Instead, she moved between them and the scavengers, spreading her wings and lowering her head. The scavengers ran in terror, tripping over each other to escape. Aaron's mouth hung open. I didn't know," he whispered. Leora lowered her massive head closer to him. Her eyes seemed to study him, reading everything. His fear, his courage, his determination. Aaron realized then that he was being judged, tested, not for strength, not for skill, but for something deeper. The dragon queen made a soft, musical sound, and the hatchling responded immediately, nuzzling against Aaron's chest. Aaron held it tightly, understanding that something extraordinary had just happened. He had no idea that Leora's presence meant she was watching, learning, and perhaps trusting him. For hours, he sat there with the hatchling, wrapped in rags and warmth, feeling the weight of responsibility and the strange sense of being observed by something far greater than himself. He did not know how much the queen understood or what she planned, but one thing was clear. He had passed some unspoken test. Aaron whispered to the hatchling, "We'll be okay. I promise. I'll keep you safe no matter what." Outside, in the quiet shadows of the alley, Leora watched. The human did not yet know how much the galaxy was beginning to notice him. He did not know that his courage and care were the kind of power dragons respected most. For now, Aaron was a simple human and the hatchling was still weak. But together, watched by the hidden guardian, they had already begun a bond that would change everything. Aaron woke to the soft glow of the lamp he had placed near the hatchling. Its small chest rose and fell steadily now, a little stronger than before. Relief warmed him, but he knew this was only the beginning. The little dragon was still very weak, and the city outside was far from safe. He needed to find a place to rest, to heal the hatchling and maybe, if possible, some real medicine. He gently lifted the hatchling, cradling it close. Its tiny wings twitched as if trying to move. Aaron whispered softly, "Don't worry. We'll get through this. I'll keep you safe." The hatchling responded with a small, faint nuzzle. Aaron smiled, feeling a spark of hope. Outside, Leora followed him silently. The dragon queen stayed hidden, invisible to the humans and aliens in the streets. She observed everything: the way he moved, how he carried the hatchling, the choices he made to avoid danger. Each step revealed more about his character. Most humans she had encountered were selfish, weak, or careless. This one was different. Brave, yes, but more importantly, careful and compassionate. Aaron moved through the city, ducking through narrow alleys to avoid the soldiers and security drones patrolling the main streets. He had a plan, vague as it was: find a small abandoned building where he could set up a safe place for the hatchling. He noticed a shop with its doors broken, shelves tipped over, and a sign hanging by one chain. Inside it was quiet and empty. Perfect. He stepped inside, careful not to let the hatchling bump into the debris. He placed it down gently on a soft pile of rags. It shivered but stayed still, watching him with faint curiosity. Aaron began searching the shop for anything that could help. He found a small heating lamp, some rags, and even a container of water. "This will do for now," he said softly. "You're safe here." Suddenly, a noise from the alley outside made him freeze. A group of scavengers, rough and armed, were moving toward the building. Aaron's heart raced. He had nothing to fight them with, only a metal rod he picked up from the shop. But he would not leave the hatchling unprotected. He lifted the rod, holding it like a shield. "Stay back," he called. The scavengers laughed, not taking him seriously. "What's this? A human playing hero with some weak little dragon?" one said, stepping forward. Aaron's hands shook slightly, but he stood firm. "It's not weak. And I won't let you hurt it." The scavengers charged. Aaron tried to push one away, swinging the rod. But they were bigger, stronger, and faster. Just as panic began to take over, the room darkened. Shadows shifted. The temperature dropped. The air vibrated with power. Leora stepped inside. Her wings spread wide, filling the room with a shadow that pressed down on everyone. The scavengers froze, fear cutting through their bravado. The ground seemed to shake as the Dragon Queen lowered her massive head, golden eyes blazing, fixed on the intruders. The scavengers turned to flee, tripping over each other in panic. Aaron barely had time to blink before the room was empty of threat. He looked up, astonished. You're her?" he whispered. The Dragon Queen did not answer. She stepped closer, studying him, the hatchling, and the tiny nest he had made. Aaron felt her gaze, deep and penetrating, as if she could see every thought inside his mind. He swallowed hard, unsure if he should speak. I'm trying to help it," he said finally. "I don't know much, but I'll do whatever I can. Please, don't be angry." Leora's golden eyes softened slightly. She made a low, musical hum. It was not a roar, not a threat, but a sound that vibrated with judgment. The hatchling twitched and let out a faint chirp, nuzzling Aaron's chest. The Dragon Queen's gaze lingered on the human longer than he could bear. He felt exposed, judged, and tested all at once. Hours passed. Aaron stayed beside the hatchling, feeding it small sips of water and adjusting the rags for warmth. He moved carefully, watching for any signs of danger outside. Leora remained nearby, invisible to the human, testing him silently. She created small obstacles, a loose crate that nearly fell, a swinging sign that blocked his path, a sudden flash of light from a passing hovercar, but Aaron handled each one calmly, carefully, always putting the hatchling first. For the first time he realized he was not alone in this effort. Something powerful was observing him, measuring his choices. Aaron's chest tightened with a mix of fear and determination. He could not fail, not with the hatchling depending on him and whatever unseen presence was watching. "Okay, little one," he whispered, "we can do this. We just have to be smart, careful, and brave." The hatchling blinked slowly as if understanding him. Later, Aaron tried to rest, keeping one hand on the hatchling. His sleep was light, filled with dreams of predators, falling buildings, and endless danger. Each time he stirred, he found the hatchling moving slightly, its breathing steady but weak. He realized then that trust was not given lightly. It had to be earned. And in a strange way, he felt he was earning the trust of not only the hatchling but something greater, something he could not yet see. In the quiet moments, Aaron whispered to the hatchling, "I don't know what comes next, but I'll face it. I promise. You're safe with me." Outside in the shadows, Leora's wings shifted. She could feel his determination, his courage, his care. Few humans were like this. Few had the patience, intelligence, and bravery to handle the weight of life without needing to fight or dominate. She realized that this human strength was not in muscle or weapon, but in heart and mind. As night fell, the city lights flickered. Aaron kept the hatchling warm under his jacket, aware that every sound outside could be a threat. Yet he did not waver. He had faced fear before, but never like this, carrying something so fragile, knowing that any mistake could cost it its life. Leora stayed close in the darkness, unseen but present. She did not intervene unless absolutely necessary, watching how the human adapted, how he protected, how he cared. She began to understand that trust was growing here, between human and dragon, between weak and strong, between life and danger. Aaron's whispers to the hatchling continued late into the night. "We can do this," he said softly. "I won't let anyone hurt you. I'll figure it out no matter what." And somewhere nearby, Leora listened. Silent. Judging. Learning. Slowly realizing that the human's courage and care might be the kind of power that even dragons had never respected before. For now, the hatchling rested and Aaron stayed vigilant. But the bond forming in that small, quiet room, tested by fear and danger, was beginning to grow. And the galaxy, though unaware, was starting to notice that something extraordinary was happening. Aaron woke to the soft hum of the city outside. The hatchling stirred in his arms, its small body twitching slightly as it tried to stretch its tiny wings. He had spent the night keeping it warm, watching it breathe and adjusting the rag so it would not shiver. Its chest rose and fell steadily now, stronger than before but still weak. Aaron felt a small spark of hope. He had come far, but he knew the hardest challenges were not over yet. He set the hatchling down on the pile of rags and stepped back, stretching his tired arms. "You're getting stronger," he whispered. "Just a little more and you'll be okay." The hatchling blinked at him, almost as if it understood. Suddenly the air in the room changed. Aaron turned quickly. The temperature dropped, and a strange wind moved through the broken windows. His heart skipped a beat. From the shadows, a massive form emerged. Leora, the Dragon Queen, stepped fully into the room. Her scales shimmered with silver light, and her golden eyes glowed in the dim space. She was enormous, her wings folding like towers behind her. Aaron froze. The hatchling let out a small squeak and instinctively nuzzled against him. He had never seen a dragon this large, this powerful, this alive. He could feel her presence pressing down on him, not with violence but with sheer weight and intelligence. "You," Aaron whispered, unable to finish. His voice trembled. "You're its mother?" Leora lowered her head slowly, her eyes locked on him. She made a soft, musical hum, vibrating through the floor and walls. The sound was not threatening, but it demanded attention. Aaron realized this was a test, a judgment. He straightened, holding the hatchling close. I only wanted to help," he said quietly. "It was hurt, sick. No one else would do anything. I didn't mean to make trouble." The Dragon Queen's golden eyes studied him carefully. She could see everything, his fear, his hope, his determination. Every choice he had made, every risk he had taken to protect the hatchling, all of it was laid bare before her. She tilted her head, curious. This human was not strong, not in the way dragons or warriors measured strength. Yet there was something in him that made her hesitate, something she had rarely seen. Aaron swallowed hard. I'll do anything to help it. Anything." Leora stepped closer. The ground trembled slightly beneath her massive weight. She circled him slowly, her eyes never leaving his. She tested him without words, creating small disturbances. A falling beam from the ceiling, a sudden gust of wind from her wings, even a soft shadow that moved like a predator. Each time, Aaron reacted instinctively, protecting the hatchling, adjusting his grip, moving carefully but quickly. The Dragon Queen stopped in front of him. She lowered her massive head until their eyes were almost level. Aaron's stomach tightened. He felt like the smallest creature in the galaxy, yet he stood his ground. "You care for it," she said, her voice vibrating in his mind. It was not spoken aloud, but Aaron understood perfectly. He nodded. "Yes," he said simply. "It's alive. It deserves to live. I won't let anything happen to it." Leora made another soft hum, longer this time, almost like a song. She looked at the hatchling. Its tiny eyes met hers and it chirped softly. She lowered one massive claw, hovering above the tiny creature without touching it. Her golden gaze flicked back to Aaron. She studied him as if deciding whether he was worthy, whether he could be trusted. Hours passed. Aaron stayed beside the hatchling, feeding it small sips of water and making sure it was comfortable. He hardly moved, afraid to break the fragile balance. Leora did not leave. She remained in the shadows, her enormous presence filling the space, silent but observing. Finally she spoke, her thoughts echoing clearly in his mind. "You have courage. You have heart. Few humans do. Most would flee or fail or abandon what they cannot control. You have done none of these." Aaron's hands trembled slightly. I didn't think about courage," he said. "I just wanted to help." "Helping," Leora said slowly, "is stronger than weapons, stronger than claws, stronger than armies. It is rare in this galaxy and it is dangerous to those who underestimate it. You are unusual." Aaron felt a shiver run down his spine. To be called unusual by a dragon queen, it was both terrifying and humbling. "I don't know what to say," he whispered. "You do not need words," she said. "Your actions speak louder than any language. You have earned trust, not mine alone but the trust of life itself. That hatchling would not have survived without you. And she paused, watching the tiny dragon nuzzle against him. "I have seen something in you that I did not expect from your kind." Aaron looked down at the hatchling. It blinked slowly, weak but alive. A smile touched his lips. I just wanted to live," he said softly. Leora lowered her massive head completely, so close that Aaron could feel her warm breath on his face. "Then it shall," she said. Her voice was calm, powerful and final. "For now I will allow you to care for it. But know this, the galaxy is not kind. Many will see weakness where there is strength. You must protect it as you have done. And you must be ready always for what comes next. Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of her words. I understand. I will protect it, no matter what. The hatchling chirped softly, stretching its tiny wings. Aaron held it close, feeling warmth in his chest. He realized that Leora's presence was more than a threat. It was a recognition, a bond forming between human and dragon, a promise that life could be defended by courage and care, not just by power. The Dragon Queen finally stepped back, her massive wings folding around her. She did not leave entirely, but her shadow moved away, letting Aaron breathe. He looked down at the hatchling, then at the faint shimmer of silver scales outside the doorway. I don't know why she trusts me, he whispered. But I'll do everything I can. I promise. And as night fell over the city, Aaron Vale, the human who carried a sick dragon in his arms, understood something he had never known before. Sometimes bravery was not in fighting or strength. It was in quiet care, in steady hands, in the courage to protect what others abandoned. And in that moment, the Dragon Queen had revealed to him that humans, small, fragile, and overlooked, could hold power that even dragons feared to underestimate. The hatchling stirred, weak but alive. Aaron held it close, feeling hope bloom in his chest. And outside, in the silent shadows, Leora watched, patient and calculating, knowing that the human had passed her greatest test so far. The real journey, she knew, was only beginning. Aaron Vale carried the hatchling carefully through the quiet streets. The little dragon had grown stronger, its chest rising and falling steadily, its tiny wings stretching for the first time. Aaron smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest he had not known before. He had cared for it through danger, sickness, and fear, and now it was alive because of him. Behind him, hidden from human eyes, Leora followed. The Dragon Queen had watched him closely for days, testing him, judging him, learning what made this human different. She had seen him choose compassion over fear, care over selfishness, courage over pride. Most humans were loud, reckless, or weak. Aaron was quiet, careful, and brave in ways she had rarely seen. The city had begun to stir. Traders and soldiers moved through the streets, going about their business, unaware of the small human carrying a dragon that had once been weak and abandoned. But whispers were spreading. Aliens noticed a strange sight. A human walking calmly, cradling a hatchling that glowed softly in his arms, and somehow surviving the dangers around him. Aaron did not notice. His focus was on the hatchling, on keeping it warm and safe. Almost there, he whispered. We just need a little more. He ducked under a low doorway, avoiding falling debris and the occasional security drone. The hatchling chirped softly, nudging his chest. Aaron smiled. I know. You're brave too. Leora stepped closer, her massive wings folding carefully so she could remain unseen. She watched as Aaron navigated obstacles, avoided danger, and stayed patient with the hatchling. He spoke to it gently, never raising his voice, never showing panic. His courage was quiet but steady, and the Dragon Queen recognized it as true strength. Suddenly, a group of alien hunters appeared ahead. They were large, armored, and armed with strange weapons designed to capture dragons. Their eyes lit on the hatchling immediately, but when they saw Aaron carrying it, they laughed. A human protecting a weak little dragon? Pathetic, one shouted. Aaron froze for a moment, but then he remembered Leora's tests and the lessons he had learned. He did not run. He did not panic. He simply shifted the hatchling closer to his chest, keeping it safe. You won't touch it, he said firmly. The hunters stepped forward, underestimating him. Aaron's heart pounded, but he kept moving, dodging their attacks and using his small size to his advantage. He ducked, twisted, and shifted his weight, always keeping the hatchling protected. The hunters grew frustrated. They expected fear, weakness, and retreat. Aaron gave them none. Then Leora revealed herself. She spread her massive wings and stepped into the open, her silver scales glowing in the light of the city. The hunters froze. Her golden eyes blazed, her roar shaking the air like thunder. Aaron glanced up in shock, realizing the full power behind the dragon he had been carrying for days. The hunters ran, stumbling over debris, dropping their weapons, unable to withstand the presence of the Dragon Queen. Aaron watched, amazed, as the threat vanished. He turned to the hatchling, cradling it gently. See? Nothing can hurt us, he whispered. Leora lowered her head, bringing her golden eyes close to Aaron. He felt her judgment again, but this time it was not harsh. It was approval, recognition, respect. You have done well, she communicated in his mind. You have protected life without thinking of yourself. That is rare. That is strength. Aaron swallowed, overwhelmed. I didn't know I could do this, he admitted softly. I just wanted it to live. Living, Leora said, is more powerful than any weapon. Courage is measured not by size or strength but by care. You have shown the galaxy what humans can do. You have shown me. The hatchling chirped, nudging Aaron's chest, and for the first time, Aaron noticed how much it had grown. Its scales glimmered faintly, its wings stretched and flexed, and its eyes were bright and alert. He smiled. You're strong now. You're going to be okay. Together, Aaron, the hatchling, and Leora moved through the streets. Word spread quickly. Other dragons, aliens, and even humans saw what was happening. A human was carrying a dragon with courage and care, facing dangers that would make others flee. Slowly, whispers turned into stories and stories into legends. The galaxy began to notice that humans were not just small, weak creatures. They were capable of bravery, compassion, and cleverness that few other species understood. Aaron felt a strange pride, but not in himself alone. He looked at the hatchling, then at Leora's shimmering wings in the distance. He realized that power was not only about fighting or strength, it was about protecting, caring, and choosing the right action when others would not. That was the gift he had and the gift he had shared. As night fell, the city was quiet again. Aaron found a small safe place, tucked away from patrols and hunters, where he could let the hatchling rest fully. Leora stayed nearby, hidden but watchful. The bond between human and dragon had grown, tested by fear, danger, and choice. Aaron understood that the hatchling's life had changed him as much as he had changed its life. The hatchling curled in his arms, finally resting completely. Aaron whispered softly, "We did it, together." He felt the weight of what he had accomplished, and for the first time, he realized that even a small human could make a difference in a galaxy that often ignored them. Leora from the shadows watched them. Her golden eyes reflected quiet approval. The human had proven something extraordinary, not with power, not with fire, not with claws, but with courage, care, and heart. The galaxy would remember this moment, even if only quietly at first. And slowly, Aaron understood something he had never known before. Humans could change the galaxy not by conquering it, but by protecting what others ignored, by caring when others turned away, and by acting when others hesitated. He held the hatchling close, feeling its tiny heartbeat against his chest, and knew that their bond, tested, fragile, and extraordinary, was the kind of power that could shift worlds. Outside, Leora shifted her massive wings, a silent promise in her gaze. The human had passed the greatest test of all. He had shown that life mattered, and in doing so, had changed how the galaxy would see humans forever. Aaron whispered again to the hatchling, softly but firmly, "We'll face anything, together." And as he held the tiny dragon close, the first hints of dawn lit the city, promising a new beginning, not just for the hatchling, not just for Aaron, but for the way humans would be remembered across the stars.